Hello? All right, I'm hoping that you guys can hear me there. All right, so I'm just going to stay live on the phone, and I'm going to go and do my normal stuff that I do, guys. So we're going over to Aliveshoes. Hello there. Hi, Alejandro. How are you doing? I'm trying to make sure I get this in a spot where you guys can actually see it. All right, so guys, hey, it's Desiree. So today, for my live, what I am doing is we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna be designing a shoe for my live. And let's see, pin and do. Okay, so go to pin. I just did that. Pin it. I just did that. I haven't touched anything, so. All right. Hey there, Brian. Hi, guys. How's it going? This is Desiree. So this is me. I'm going to attempt to do this live for you guys. Hello there. Hi. So the very first thing that I'm actually going to do is I am going to show you guys this first shoe right here. And this is one of my main shoes. All right, so this is one of my main shoes. And this is the one that for Aliveshoes that I, went ahead and entered the contest to be able to be recognized or be one of their showcased designers, which I did actually do. And this is the shoe that we actually had. This is the one that I submitted. So for me personally, whenever I design any of my shoes or anything like that, make sure you guys, when you're coming on, I would love for you guys to double tap the screen so that you guys can like the live. I would love for you guys to share it. And then for any gifts, heart me's, join our fan club. We're still doing Community Fest 2025. And so we any gifts, comments, all that great stuff, we love it all. So like I said, this is the shoe that I actually won my showcase in Aliveshoes for, is this one right here. All right, so this is the shoe, and the glare is just, it's too much. All right, that's a little bit better. All right, so this is the shoe that we had. This is the one, this is our Rich and Rich Biz. This is our elegant men's biker boot. This is the one that we actually won our showcase for. So as you guys are joining, if you double tap the screen, so I wanted to take the opportunity to show you guys exactly. So this is one of my shoe designs. And so basically what I'm going to be doing today during my live is I'm going to go through the platform and go ahead and design one of our shoes. But this is one of the shoes. So I want to show you guys kind of like those first. Those are available for shopping. You can see them. You can go to the shopping cart if you want to buy. but this is the one that I won the contest for. So for me personally, it doesn't really matter if I make a shoe for a man or a woman. I'm the designer, so I make sure that I get my shoes. So it doesn't matter to me whether I designed it for a man or for a woman. I'm still going to have that shoe for myself to wear because, I designed it, so I deserve it. All right, this is our sandal that we did for women. And this is the one that's got the little caricature in it. So today you'll actually be able to, during the live, kind of see how I do what I do for designing my shoes. Now we are also now trademarked for our shoes. So Rich and Rich Home Opportunities, we're trademarked for our shoes. So, and you know, we're on a couple of the other platforms with selling our shoes. And then we have, these are the ones that we have in our TikTok shop. So these are the sandals for ladies. And I like the little caricature. It just says just chilling. And so we also did like some t-shirts for it as well. So as we continue to expand, as we continue to grow, then more and more of those will come. So if you're just not joining the live, feel free to please double tap your screen, because if you double tap the screen, it means that you like the live, which is important for creators. If you actually want to leave a comment, we love comments. And then also, you know, share and share. Any gifts, of course, are welcome, because we are still participating into Community Fest. So Community Fest 2025 is still going on. We're still competing and participating. So any kind of gifts or anything like that. And then that's why we're doing a little bit more of the lives and everything like that. So, and then I'll be back on again at 4 o'clock in the morning for my dinner break. And that's just my time for inspiration, announcements, and all of that wonderful stuff. We are at the Blues Fest as well this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So that's one of our sandals. All right, and then we did this shoe for, you know, both of my men and my women like it. A lot of times for Alive shoes, even though I might say it's for a man or a woman, they do have the availability to be available for a man or a woman. So if you ever, hey, well, Jeffrey, you probably won't be able to call your sister. She's trying to call me on here, but everybody wants to call. I've been here all day long. All right, so now this shoe right here is just the olive. These shoes are made in Italy. So this is genuine suede, genuine leather. So they're a little bit more pricier. We went with the little marbled sole, because just like, you know, it just gives detail to the shoe, and it shows a little, it gives you an opportunity when you're designing to showcase more of your talent. And so whenever we get ready to do like the logo, it's just swaglites is what swaglites, it kind of represents kind of like being an athlete with swag. So that's why we came up with that name. So you get to come up with a shoe name, another way to show that you know, that you show your personality. Now you're missing one of the shoes, I think, because I don't see my pink sandal shoe here. Hey, Jeffrey, go look on my dresser and grab my car keys and go look to see if there's a box that's missing, because it should have the a pink sandal in it. I don't see that one here. All right, so there's another one that I'll show you guys that's also in the TikTok shop. It's the pink sandal, but you guys can go there. I got 5 products that are just listed there, and the reason I only have 5 products listed there is because for this Alive, I'm going to be showing you guys more about, you know, how I go about doing my designs, and it is about Alive shoes. So it's about Alive shoes that's on the platform that I'm able to sell, and so we're going to talk about how I actually go through the process of creating one. So between talking with you guys and then showing you kind of like my process, and I'm hoping that you guys can see this as well as we can. And then let me go through and see who's there. So hey there, Carlos. Hey Nelson, how are you doing? Hi Victor. Hi Shay. Hi Chango. All right. Hi Shay. Hi Chaz. Why isn't the screen moving? Hi Margaret. Hi Stringer. Hi Lolit. Hi Florentine. Hi Herbert. Daniel. Shauna. Escalade, I think. Lily Bean. Wyoming. Double tap the screen, guys, if you like the live. Also, any comments are always welcome. I'm going to be designing, so I won't be able to, I'm going to look back and talk to you guys as well too, but I'm going to introduce you. First of all, this is the Aliveshoes platform here. So this is where I go to do my designs. All right, so just so you guys are kind of like aware, so this is so those shoes. Also, the fifth item that I have in the TikTok shop that is also created by me on the Alive platform for sale is in the beginning they only did like the shoes, and then they opened it up to like accessories and purses. And so for me, my favorite go-tos are my shoes and definitely my purses, because I had a purse line. And I've got like 5 or 6 purses in that purse line right now, and the shoes. So those are the 2 things that I did great. He didn't get my message, obviously. So anyway, so needless to say, I'm going to show you guys how we do those designs. So we're going to dig in for this. Please, guys, double tap your screen. You can also send any hearts, any likes, or anything like that. And then we're going to proceed on with actually doing the shoe design. So the very first thing for me that I always like to do So when I decided about doing this actual thing for doing our designs with Aliveshoes, one of the things that I wanted to do is just actually have information that you guys would actually have also. And so we'll worry about this one a little bit later. And for me, I don't know why, but Gmail is just easier for me to be able to kind of like do like my my designing and everything, because okay, you put it down, and I will put this here for now because we're going to come back to that. And then I'm just going to tell you guys a little bit about this. So the very first thing, if you're wondering about, I get some people, they're like, oh, wow, you know, I really wish, you know, I knew like a shoe thing. And, you know, I've always wanted to design shoes or anything like that. So I know there's probably more platforms out there maybe, but I like the Aliveshoes platform to be able to design my shoes and to be able to then, you know, sell them via the TikTok shop. So this is what I usually like to just tell you up front, like when people are asking about it. The very first thing is that in order to be a part of Aliveshoes, there's an application process. So you go through the application process, and at the time I was doing my purses, so I was really focused in fashion and how I wanted that my fashion career to take off. What were my goals? What did I see in the future for Rich and Rich Home Opportunities as far as a shoe platform? And so I explained that to them well enough that my application was accepted. And so the Aliveshoes, it took off. Learning it, it's not a very difficult platform once you get used to it, but you know, anything once you first start doing is not always easy. Okay, so whenever I'm designing, the first thing that I want to think about kind of like, what do I actually want to design? What do I actually want to do? What kind of theme do I want to focus on? Hey guys, I'm going to be intermittently saying hi to you guys. Hi Shauna, hi Valva, hi Daniel, as I go through and we do our the the shoe design. If you guys can double tap your screen for the live, and if you can comment and share, that would be greatly appreciated. So I always think about the theme design, or what type of shoe, or if I'm going to design for a woman, if I'm going to design for a man this time around. So I think that, and then I wanted to make this live to where you guys can actually, you know, say maybe if you wanted to actually be able to do what you kind of think about the design, like shoe design or anything like that. And so that is kind of where we are going with that. And so I'm going to click on these messages. So I want to see. Hello, guys. Hey there. Hi, Mart. Hi, Joe. Hi, Raul. Hi, Porto. Hi, Bizavo. Hi, Corvavu. Double tap the screen, guys. If you are on, can you go ahead and double tap your screen? Share the screen if you want to, and then, you know, leave your comments. But definitely double tap the screen. Hey there, Gail. So I'm going to go on into the platform. So start your design. So I'm actually in the Alive platform right now. And this is what it looks like when you first are getting into it. When you first start off with the platform, there are different windows and things that you're going to be able to get into once you advance with your actual designing of the shoes. Once you actually do the, you know, actually move into like promoting and selling your shoe, you move through different things within it. So this is the first thing. What's your design goal? So this is Aliveshoes. What's your design goal? And so they have here, do you want to create and promote my own unique design? So like as a beginner, I think I probably used that, you know, one time before. Hi guys, how are you doing? And then the next one is like, are you starting? I'm starting my own fashion brand and collection. And then we have create fashion products for my existing brand. So I have an existing brand now, Rich and Rich Home Opportunities, which is trademarked for our shoes. However, just because I have a brand already doesn't mean that I don't want to look at some of these other areas. So what I would encourage anyone to do, even if you have access to all of them, just go ahead and try to take a quick look at what kind of shoes they have in there. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. So I'm going to go through all of them because I can show you guys too. All right, so then you get into the branding. What type of brand or project do you want this to actually be? And so we've got signature fashion here. We've got artistic conceptual fashion. We've got urban and streetwear fashion. We've got business and enterprise. We've got cause driven. We've got sport and activewear. We've got luxury and lifestyle. So those are the areas, and then there's others that are not actually listed there. So we're going to go through each one of them because this live is for 2 hours. So I want to give you guys a very great, hey there, Anna. Hi, Carlos. A good opportunity to see kind of like what's offered there. You can always double tap your screen also, so you can let us know that, you know, if you like the live, share like we love sharing, because I see a whole lot of you guys there. So that's wonderful. Double tap the screen to like. So this is the signature fashion. And so when you first go into it, you're going to actually, you know, see what you want your brand name to actually be. And so for me, then I go back over to my Gmail, because now I'm starting to think of some ideals of what I want to actually, you know, have. What kind of name do I want to come up with? And so what I'm going to do, for some reason my mind has been on the color blue. Let's see. So blue finesse. I don't know if that's going to end up being the name for it, but for right now, that's what we're going to do. So blue finesse. And I like to put things here in my Gmail because it's just easier for me to get back and forth through it. I can keep it in draft form. You can't keep things in Gmail draft form for too long because actually you'll lose it. So I think you're probably safe for about maybe like 30 days. But if you're trying to keep any drafts after that, you probably want to move them to your inbox and put them in your little folders, which if you see on the side of mine, I've got folders for like all type of stuff because, you know, I design almost all the time. So we're going to go back over here. So for right now, we're going to see if that name might be something that we can use. So we're saying Blue Finesse. And it'll go through and it's going to check your name, because the first thing that they want to do, they want to make sure that the name that you're picking is not already a name that's already there. So guys, if you want to go ahead and hi Pedro, hi Gail, hi Carlos, if you guys want to double tap the screen and if you want to share, feel free, and messages are always great and wonderful, so we appreciate those. And so we're going to continue to do that. Let me step away just for a minute. All right, so we want to continue to work on that. So we're doing a couple, because I also want this on my YouTube thing also, so I'm doing that as well. Because YouTube always likes when I do they always like when I'm doing the shoe design stuff, so I enjoy doing it, so I want to make sure that they are part of this process as well. Alrighty. Alright, let's see who's joined. Hi there, guys. Hey, Pedro. Hey, Gail. Hi, Carlos. Hey, Anna. Thank you guys for joining. Just make sure you please go ahead and double tap the screen to like the live. Then you can also share, and then always comment. And gifts are always welcome. So we're doing Blue Finesse. And now we're going to decide like what type of shoe we want to actually do. So we got classic sneakers we can do, sports and activewear, eco-friendly sneakers. I tend to go to this one a lot because I really just like it, because I feel like there's just so many different things that you can do with a boot. I'm wearing boots right now myself, so little yellow bumblebee boots, so I definitely do like them. So I'm going to go over in, for me, street fashion. Let's see what else is here. You got the fashion capsule. We're going to go through and just show you guys kind of like what you see when you go in there. So as you're getting ready kind of like to decide what type of actual shoe you want to do, guys, don't forget about double tapping the screen. Make sure that you share. Hearts are liked, gifts are liked, all of that. So we appreciate you guys. So this is the classic sneaker base. And so these are the sneakers that you have that you can actually choose from. And so I'm just going to kind of like look through them to see. I kind of like have an idea of where I'm going, but just about some of all of these I've kind of, well, not all of them, but a lot of them I have designed before already. So that's kind of like what they have there for that one. And I'm gonna go back. All right, signature fashion. Let's look and see. You gotta once again put your little name in there you want it to be, possibly. Well, we're gonna continue to look through. And so we went through classic sneakers. I'm not gonna do that one. So we're gonna go through. This is now your modern activewear styles. And so these are some of the styles that you can kind of see here. If you know you're thinking about designing. So these are some of the options here. Let's see which ones I've used before. So I've used this one for sure before, and I have used this one also. And then, like I was telling you guys, when they first started when I first started doing Aliveshoes, it's been like 5 years now for me. They only had like the shoes, but now, as you can see, they've got bag apparel and fashion accessories that you can do. So one of the bags that I have in the TikTok shop is one of my first tries at one of those. You do t-shirts now, kids footwear. I've done a couple of kids shoes, and these are just like collabs and people that have made it to where they actually have their own particular way that they do their design and their particular design. So that's what you see there. Hi there, guys. How's it going? So let's see. All right, I'm going to continue on. Hi, guys. Hi. So this is like a teaching moment right now. So just showing how I, go along with my concept for like doing my shoes and everything, and showing everybody what's available. So I know I don't really want to do that, but we're going to look at a couple of these other ones here too. All right, this is Eco Fashion sneakers. So these are environment there, so for people that, if that's one of your causes or some of the things that you work on and contribute, you can always choose some of the eco designs that they have here. Sometimes when you go in, and actually you'll see it when I actually go in there and start designing, their eco friendly products that you can utilize too as part of your shoe base, which is kind of good with Aliveshoes, because whenever they're evaluating shoes, because they do, even just because you create a shoe doesn't mean that Aliveshoes is going to approve that shoe for you to be able to actually create, share, and sell. So you got to always keep that in mind, because you are designing. It is a big company and they've been around for a little while, so they are going to be looking at design. So if you want to give yourself a competitive edge, I try my best to make sure that I'm utilizing the leather, the suede, and eco anytime that I can within the design that I'm trying to actually create. All right. So that is that one. And then you go down and got women's fashion. And so this one right here, this is one of the network's actual design for the box right there. And so when I first started designing, this is for the sandal. And as you can see, I actually did that box also. So that was part of the design. I like that. And if you look on the other side, it's got the little, my little caricature that I designed. So that's there on the box too. But, for Aliveshoes, they give you the ability to either use one of their designs, or you can create your own. So since I've been doing it for like so many years, I rarely use theirs anymore. I always like to create my own, because then I can bring more of my personality to the shoe, especially with the box, because you can really do a lot of things with designing with the box. And so typically, here are the high heels and wedges that they have available for design. And I can tell you which ones I have done. I have done this one right here for sure. This one is actually our so this right here that you see here, before design and after, and this is my product once I actually did the design. And of course, you order your prototype so you can see how your shoe looks and all that wonderful stuff, and have a fabulous one. So I'm a heel person, so I love my heels. I really love my heels. I don't know, it just seems like your outfit is just better with heels. That's just my personal style. So that's when I created, and I used that particular design right there, or that design, at least the foundation for the shoe. And then we have done this shoe definitely before as well. A lot of people like that one. We've done this one. This is our tassel shoe. All right, and so basically there's the shoe design there. So that's your Tatsel's platform pump. That's what you start off with as your base. And then when I actually did the shoe, this is kind of like what we came up with. Now, funny thing about this elastic part in here, when I first started designing, you have to be careful, because if you click off of the color that you actually want, you inadvertently put another color in there you didn't want. Sometimes that can be good, because sometimes it gives you're actually creating a different shoe. And so for this one right here, I actually, I intended to have white here. But then when I put the gray in there, I'm like, you know what? I really like that gray. And so since I like the gray so much, that I came over here. This is just Rich and Rich. And of course, they're made in Italy. And so I did the gray kind of like logo to go tie in with that. So I end up liking this a whole lot better. But I have both the white and that color. So it's always wonderful that, you know, TikTok, you know, we have the ability to have our products on TikTok and to continue to grow, especially with growing with the fans and everything also. So I don't want this thing knocking me down when I try to move around. All right, so these are the shoes for there. We're gonna pop back up here. I already think I have an idea of what I want to do. Okay, now we're going to street fashion. Okay, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and say that this is kind of like one of my favorites right here. Make sure you guys, if you're double tapping the screen, you can double tap the screen. And then let's say hi to some people. Hey, Pedro. Hey, Young Jay, I think it is. Hey, Manny, how are you doing? Hi, Curave, how are you doing? All right, and then we're still doing our participation in the community fest, so we just want to make sure that we're getting our gifts and all of that stuff, and bringing you guys the things that you need. Thank you so much. So make sure you do the heart me and all of that wonderful stuff that we need to continue to keep going with everything that we're doing. All right, so for me, this is kind of like my it's like my favorite little area to be in, and this is kind of like my favorite shoe. It's just the street high boot as well. So Aliveshoes platform is one of the platforms I designed like my shoes on. So hi there, how are you doing? Let's see. Hi there, Martez. Hi, Raul. We're just going through designing shoe. So this one is called the Minimal Street High Boot. And so I'll usually go through and I kind of like look to see kind of like, you know, the minimal street high boot. So this is going to help you when you're actually getting ready to, like, when you put it on, like if you design a shoe and you're getting ready to put it on, you know, platforms for sale, which Aliveshoes gives you a website too, but I like to have my stuff on, you know, other platforms so it gets more exposure, and so people start to recognize me as a designer, because this is what this is all about. I have my designing certificate, I'm designing, I've got a trademark, so I want to make sure that, you know, I make my way into the fashion industry as soon as possible. So that's part of what's going to go into your actual product description. And so where you see the model D002, that's actually where that blue finesse that I'm thinking of, that's what I want the shoe to be named, that's where that would go. And so we're going to go ahead and I'm going to start designing here. And so it will load up. All right, so now once it's loaded, now you get to actually see, kind of like you see the shoe that's there for you. It's telling you that you can do a logo. So I always make sure that I do a logo, because the logos, to me, it gives me an opportunity to be able to actually even have more creativity with my design and everything. So just because you design a shoe either doesn't mean that it's written in stone for you either. You can always go back, you can always edit, but just when you edit, you just have to understand that if they approved your shoe for one way and then you change it, then you have to go back through the approval process again. Usually it's about 24 to 48 hours turnaround time for them to actually, you know, say yay or nay. And then I was talking about that eco-friendly. See, they have the Eco Bio vegan leather. So you have the ability to, you know, you can mix and match. Like maybe you want to put regular leather in one place and then you put eco vegan leather in another place, or you use suede. Then down here you have your patterns that you can actually utilize to actually create your shoe. So that's where, that's where we are for that. And so for me, because I have been designing for so long, what I'm thinking about now is I'm thinking about what do I want my box to look like? Because the way I want my box to kind of look is kind of the way that I also want to have my, I want to actually have my shoe kind of looking like that too. So I want to go ahead and so I know I'm going to do that shoe. I've got it up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over into my folder and let's see, go into my passport, because now I want to decide something that I actually would like to do, something that I actually want to design. So I'm going to go into my documents. And then for me, because I'm always kind of, I'm always doing some type of design or whatever, I've got a lot of different images and a lot of different like designs. And so what I want to do is I want to go to, I'm going to pick one of our designs that we have here already. And guys, this is the first time I'm doing this, but I promise you it'll get better, because what I'll do is we'll go from shoe to shoe, and as you look through it and work through it, you'll probably have the ability to and don't forget the gifts and roses or anything like that, guys. And then let's see. All right, so images. So I want to see what I'm thinking that I want that box to kind of like look like. And so I know I'm going for blue, and so I want my box to be, the box is going to be the first thing a lot of times that people see, I think, in my opinion. So I like to put some thought into the box before I even create it. And so just go through my designs to kind of like see, I know kind of like what I wanted to do with it. And so we will see how that's going to do. All right, so, and I know why I'm thinking blue finesse, because probably we also do have the Blues Fest that's coming up. So that's kind of guiding me for kind of like what I would like to see or whatever. And so here we've got a little design, that's kind of like blue or whatever for like the box, if this is something that we wanted to actually go with. And so, yeah, we'll think about it. I don't know if that's exactly what I want to do, but I'll copy it. And then I'm going back over into my little shoe design thing right here. And I'm just going to pop that picture in there. Okay, so the picture is there, so I know that that's kind of like what I'm thinking about. I want to actually utilize. So all I did was just move it over into my actual box so I can come back to it. You guys able to see that? See, so I just put it into my Gmail box. Easy peasy stuff. Nothing, hard that anybody can pretty much do it. So that's what I have there. Make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. Make sure that you share. Make sure you heart me. We are still participating in the Community Fest, so we're still doing that. So we're grateful about that too. And let's see. All right. Then what we're gonna do is I'm going back to my designs here. So I don't know if I'm, I don't know that I'm set in stone with that particular design. So I'm gonna look through some others. And like I said, you can always come back and you can always create something, else if you want to. Yeah, that one, yeah, maybe it's a possibility, but it's not grabbing me like that. So I'm going to go through some other designs. Let's see. And so whenever I did the Blues Fest last year, this is the folder that I created here. Pretty much is the folder that I got designs for a lot of the things that I do have that I had present at the Blue Fest. So, and some of them you can see actually in the in our shop and stuff. So anyway, so we got our famous little leopard playing the saxophone here. And so I know Blues Fest is coming up. I love designing for whatever place allows me to be a vendor at. And so I figure that, when they're allowing me to be there, I want to do something that's memorable for them. I want my setup to actually speak to whatever that event is. So I like unusual. I've always been a different person, so I like to have things that are different. So I won't always have, I like variety. And I like different things, so I don't get stuck into just doing any one thing. And so we're going to take a closer look at a couple of these to see if they are interesting at all to actually do. Okay, and so these designs, just so you guys know, so when they tell you you have to put on, you have to make sure that you're identifying if this is, you know, AI or not. So these are definitely AI images. So these are AI images that are from, you know, my head, whatever I kind of thought of, what I wanted at the time, what I want to be like in the picture or whatever is kind of like there, and then you use it, you utilize whatever AI platform that you utilize for your designs, or if you're not designing, then you can always look at other platforms. So let's look here. And, you know, I like this to a degree somewhat as well. So we're thinking about that one. Somewhat. And let's see. And this is the one that we actually have in our TikTok shop. This one right here. And I just love it. I just love everything about it. It's kind of quirky or whatever. It's not perfect or anything like that, because none of us are perfect. But, you know, I think that it's interesting. Very interesting. So, and then we're going to keep on kind of like looking. So when I'm looking through like the designs and everything like that, if I'm seeing something that I want to actually utilize, then I do. But if they're not really coming at me and it's not really striking me as something that I'm just really kind of stuck on doing, then I might not actually do it. And so I like for it to be a little bit different, but not so different that, you know, it's, you know, it's too much, because too much can be too much. All right. So, okay. All right. So I like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this one, and I'm going to go back into my Gmail and pull up our shoe design thing here, because this is where we put everything, and I'm going to plop that one here. Now, the beautiful thing about Aliveshoes is that sometimes you're able to do the tongue of the shoe, the logo of the shoe, and your box. Anytime I have the ability to pick all three of them, I design for all three of them, because I feel like that's going to be the best way to kind of showcase what I really want to showcase some of my talent, and showcase that I'm just not just doing designs, you know, that I put some thought process into it. So I love that design. And so I said that to say this. That's kind of pretty much 3 different designs you could do right there. 3 designs that you could do that are different outside of, you know, what we're going to actually do for the actual design of the shoe. So this part right here, I know it seems like a lot for a setup maybe for some people, but trust me, you want to go ahead and have a name for your shoe already kind of like decided. I would even go as far as to say, have kind of like, you know, why is this shoe so important to you? Why do you want a shoe that's called, you know, Blue Finesse? And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put my Y down here now, because we can. We've got like some time. So this is going to be, I'm going to say, so we are in the Blues Fest this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday here in the Wisconsin area. So if you're here, please guys remember to send us gifts. Remember to, you know, heart us. Remember to share and everything. As creators, we love that stuff, so we can, you know, continue to know that we're bringing our audience what they need. We are participating in the 2025 Blues Festival via Grandview Business District. Okay, we are keeping it. And then our creation is a inspired design for those who love blues. All right, easy peasy. I love blues. My mother and father, Bobby Blue Bland, if some of you guys know that, and then B.B. King. So, and they just listen to blues. And so I'm grateful for the fact that my family, they were so inclined to music. My father played a guitar and he sang in a group at some point or another. So I definitely like to, I like blues as well. So I love going to like the festivals. The music is wonderful. For those of you who join me on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, you'll get a chance to see what I'm talking about. So guys, don't forget to go ahead and heart. Hi, Bissabo. Hi, Joe. Hi, Raul. I'm going to put this over and I'm going to go from the top. I'm going to go from the top real guys before I move on, because you guys know I love to make sure that I say hi to you guys, because I'm so grateful that you're here. Hey there, Alejandra. Hi, Edward. Hi, Spider Mech. Hi, let's see. Hi, Brian. Thank you so much, Spider Mech. I see that you followed me. I appreciate you so much. And, you know, whenever you guys see the little, I'm going to do something really quick, guys, because I'm not seeing something here, and I want to make sure you guys are able to be a part of the our fan club too, because I'm not seeing that. So, okay, so I see that there. Okay, so I just want to make sure that that is still there. So, guys, make sure like you can heart me. We got like 10 minutes and 41 seconds. Any stars. You can always like the screen, double tap on it. That'll say that you liked it. Make sure that you do leave a comment. And then right here, you see the little arrow that's going that way. That's how you share it to another to other platforms as well. And then also the comments. So I just wanted to make sure we're still popping up with the Community Fest thing on there, because that's kind of like how we get our points. But I'm going to take my time out now and I want to go through and see who all is here, guys. I appreciate you so much. All right, let's see. Alrighty, so hey, I said at Edward Spider Mech, thank you so much. Brian Gronick, hi, how are you doing? Hi, Liam, how are you doing? Thank you so much. Liam, live host, I appreciate you so much for following me. Hi, and make sure you share our live and invite more of your friends, because you never know. You might have one of your friends that might say maybe they were thinking about something that they want to do as an entrepreneur thing, and they are undecided. Let them know about TikTok is a wonderful place to spread the word and spread the news. So I'm always so grateful for TikTok. Then we got Porky, how are you doing? Hey Ben, hey Robbie, hey Brad, hey Emilio, hi Goodiness, how are you doing? Hey Patricia, hi Lady Leo, hi FHX, hi Jay, hey El Gallo, hey Lucinda, hey Stokely, hi Jojo, SH4, how are you? KS Ann, how are you doing? Ralph, hi Jeffrey, hi Ice Cube. I like the ice cubes there too. It makes me feel like I want to go and get some tea right now. All right, out of my refrigerator. All right, James, how are you doing? Hey Locke, hi Jose, not sure how to pronounce it. Hey Norton, hey Bretuba, hi Juan. If I butchered the name, guys, please forgive me, because I definitely don't want to do that. Hi Ryan, hi Leslie, hi Chief, hi Ben, hi Mimo, hi user 876, hey Michael Chavez, hi Maine, hi Cameron 1998, hi GB, hi Chango, hi V Kirby, hi Country Girl, like that. Medic Veteran, oh wow, okay. I was in 91 Alpha and 91 Bravo when I went in the military back in 1989, and so I was a medical specialist. That's what those equated into. So all right, Medic Veteran, I'm also a veteran, so I recognize you and thank you for your service. Hey Psychic Medic, Medici, hi Rikai, hi Angela, hi Arbin, how hi back up, hi Alicia, hi Walkin, hi Ozzy, hi Ander, hey Lake, hi Kuamoko, hi Wyoming, hi Lily, hi Escalade, hi Velveeta, hi Shauna, hi Daniel, hi Herbert, hi Florentine, hi Loli, hi Stringer, hi Margaret, hi Carlos, hi Nelson, hi Victor, hi Shay, hey Chess, hi Marco, is that N-I Nurkle, hi L Tessereso, hi CHAZ, hi I Spy, hi DJ T3. Thank you guys for joining. Hi Chaparita. Hi Teddy. Hi Zipper. Hi Mr. Science. Oh, Mr. Science. I like that. Hi Cruz. Hi Sylvia. Hi Wild Bill. Hi Miguel. I was a nerd in school, guys. So science and all that stuff. Yeah, I was all into that. Elmer. Francisco. User 370. How are you? Hi Onik. Hi Joey. Hi Lewis. Hi Pedro. Hey Gail. Hey Carlos 6473. Hey Anna. Hey Young Jay, hi Manny, hi Coral View, hi Bissavo, hi Marita. Hi, Joe. Hi, Raul. Hi, Porto. Hey, Helen. Hey, Pedro. Hey, Carrie. Hi, Darwin. Hi, Tim. Hi, Michelle William. Hi, El Hombre. Hey, Emma. Hi, hi, Blizzy. Hi, Minor. Hi, Francis. Hi, Rukel Mello. Hi, Juan Juarez. Einor. Lisa. Hi, Batman. Ivancho. Abe. Pappy Deuce. Rodriguez. Di, Ronald, Jennifer, Marvin, El, Pepe, Beth. Let's see. Ah, hey there, Beth Kelly. I recognize you from the other day. I think it was about the wigs or something like that. Hey, Walter, Cock 98. Hi, Fast Car. Hi, Jacqueline. Hi, Randall. Hi, Pam. Hi, Heidi. Hi, Nathan. Hi, Blue Ridge. Hi, Juan. Hi, Frickley. Hi, Montreal. Hi, Aloy. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Sky. Hi, Neri. Hi, user 960. Melez. Westland. How are you? Lewis. Francisco. Juana. Alicia. Maria. Rhino. Kodo. Lisa. Miriam. Bizzo. VKS. Thank you guys so much for coming out and enjoying. So I'll do more a little bit later. I want to get back to the design so I don't get lost in the translation. Sometimes, you get to talking to good folks and then, kind of lose the train of thought of where you're going. So here we are. So we're back. And I basically went ahead and said something about the shoe and why I'm doing that particular shoe design. All right, so in the interest of time, I am going to go ahead and go back into our live shoes. And we're going to go ahead and get to designing. And we've got those two pictures there, so we know that those are definitely possibilities of things that we want to do. All right, let's see. All right, so we're back at our boot. We are making our blue finesse boot now. So this one right here, select the shoe part that you want to design. So I'm going to go over to the main part. I'm going to click on the main part. And so then you're going to think, so the main part they're telling you is this area right in here. If you see my little arrow here. Hey guys, don't forget to heart me, send gifts, go ahead and share, comment. We're also back on Friday for the Blues Festival, Saturday and Sunday. And those are listed in my link of events. Also my TikTok shop is listed. The link is in the bio as well. So I'm going to see what kind. So we want to go with like blue finesse. So let's try out some blue since we know we're going that way. All right, so this says denim leather blue, and then we've got this Oceana leather. If you go over here, it'll tell you, do you want that to be Italian leather? So if you want Italian leather, click on that. If you want Italian suede instead, you want to click on that one. Or if you want the Eco Bio vegan leather. And see, as you click on them, then it lets you know what type of main colors you have, and also down here, other materials or other different colors that you would like. So I'm going back to the Italian leather, and I'm going to go back over to Eco Bio, see if there's anything blue. Not really anything blue, but that doesn't mean you won't be able to use it in your design. You might be able to. And then let's go to, okay, so you got Italian leather. Okay, that's telling me I'm 1 hour into, guys. A little hint for myself. All right, so, and then let's go to Italian suede. So we see that the suede is still there. I'm going to go with Italian suede. And, just because I think it'd be different. I love suede. I really, really do. I love leather. So we're going to make that part there. And sometimes as you are designing the shoes, sometimes you just kind of click on things because you're thinking, hey, will this color work for, whatever it is you feel like you need. So the first detail that we're going to actually start working on now is going to be this detail right here. So this is the back of the shoe. Hi, guys. Make sure you guys are double clapping and join. Make sure you guys send the heart if you can, possibly. We'll be doing more of these. So then I'm going to go back to the back. All right, so we did the Italian suede. So I'm going to stay in the leather part this time. And let's see, this is a blue also. Let's see what that looks like maybe with it. Okay. All right, so we'll see. So that's blue leather right now. We'll let that one stay there. Then the next one that they're letting you design is this area right up in here. And so you're going to go down and you're going to pick. And remember, you have more than just, you can pick the solid colors, and these are the patterns that you can pick as well. So you can pick down there. So I'm looking now, the part we're designing is up there. So you want to see how, you know, because sometimes your color can tie into some other things that you're deciding on doing. And so sometimes I just kind of play around with stuff to see what it looks like. I don't think I'm really feeling that one. So they've got this kind of like design, what do they call it? Python print white. And then they also have this one, crop print white. And so I just put them on there and kind of decide. So, you know, you can just kind of mix and match to kind of like see what it is that you're going to be wanting to do, because you might not stick with this, but let's just go with this for now because this, you know, this is tolerable. Let's move on to the tongue. And so the tongue, this is this color here, not the logo, but the actual color in here. Let's see what we want. Let's go through. I always like to put some kind of design in it if feasible, because you might not find one that is particularly the one that you want for your shoe. So you kind of like decide if you want that or not. So let's look at, okay, so I don't think it. So it shows you exactly what it's going to fill in. So now you see exactly where that part would go. So I'm not really feeling that one. Let's see. Let's see. Anybody to invite to join. And let's see, anybody that I can invite. Okay. Nope, I don't see anybody there. Usually I do the invites for people that have like the pictures and stuff, guys, just because it's just nice for us to be able to, you know, be able to see. Okay, I've got Sam. I'm going to invite Sam. Okay, invitation was sent. Then we just kind of wait and see if he does actually show up. Hopefully I'll be able to do that right. But I don't mind when I'm doing things wrong, guys, because the only way you're going to really get over your fear of doing something, you got to go ahead and just do it. So, all right, so I'm not feeling that one as the design base for that shoe at all. Nah, I'm not really feeling that one either. I'm not feeling it. So, too much for me for this particular shoe. So we're not going to go with that. So I am going to go back over here to my little blues. And so we've got the suede here, and then we've got the leather in these two places that are here. Let's move on. The shoelaces. I always think, you know, I'd take the time out to pick the shoelaces too, because it's just another way of showcasing your creativity. And so let's look and see what they got there. This says stained blue. All right, I'm not, that doesn't look like anything that I would have a problem with. Just a little bit sprinkles here and there, so I'm going to choose that. And for your eyelet, it's asking you what you actually want. And so you're going to be able to choose your colors here. I think I'm going to keep, I'm always a silver girl. I don't know why, but I just like silver. Light silver. I'm going to keep the light silver. All right. So far, this is where we are right now. This is not necessarily going to be the final design. We're kind of like playing around with it. And then remember, any shoe that you are creating or anything like that, you can actually, you know, put it in draft form so that you can come back to it later. So never feel that you got to sit there and you got to design it all at the same time right then and there, because you don't have to. All right, now here's the part where I was telling you guys about adding your own logo. I always pick these. I always pick them because this is what gives you the ability, I think, to be more creative with your design. Now you can upload your own logo. It'll tell you right here how much you can actually have. So let's go. Okay, so this will tell you like what your pixels need to be. So right now for that logo right there, we need a pixel of 8 by 445. that will actually put into that you'll put into the wizard for what you actually want. And so I think that for me, of course, I'm going to do my own logo design. So that's what I would like to do. So I'm going to go back over here for this picture right here. And whenever I'm doing anything, I want to make sure I put it like in my folders and everything for it. And as you can see, I've got like a gazillion folders and everything like that because I've been doing this for a little bit. So I've got a lot of stuff. So I have my Aliveshoes folder here. And then we're going to go ahead. We've already given the shoe a name. So I'm going to go up here and create a folder. Folder says Blue Finesse. And these are just things that kind of keep you on target for what you're doing, so you kind of like don't lose, like, what was I thinking about with this one? All right, so we've got our one picture in there, and I'm going to go open, and I'm going to ask, I'm not going to go to just your regular open, I'm going to go to open with. I'm going to open with because we want a particular thing from here. And so what we actually want is, we want paint. And so then paint allows you to be able to resize your picture as you need to. All right, so remember we were talking about what your actual dimensions needed to be in order to be able to pick up that image or get it in there the way that it needs to be. You need to put that in there. So we're going clicking this off because we don't need it there. And we're going to go ahead and put our 800 in here. And then our 445. Okay, and this is going to be in pixels, so I got to go back and do it again. Sometimes I do that. 800, then 445. And then we're going to click OK. And so now you see what it will look like when your design is actually out this way. So I like it. Okay, so far. And so the other thing that I want to do with it, I think for me personally, and remember, you can always get rid of this stuff, and our name. You don't always have to do this, but sometimes I just go ahead and do it. And let's put it in a color red. See what this looks like. Nope, I don't like that. You can make it bigger too, so we can do that part, and let's do that right now, because I can see right now it's not going to be as big as I want it to be. It's a little bit bigger. Still want better. I want to go to, let's go to 26, because we want to make sure that the fact that we're putting this in here, we'll actually be able to see it. Oh, gotta have my key. And you can just kind of, and this is just in your standard your paint that's on your computer. So, you know, not feeling it exactly with that. So what we're going to do is we're going to just go back, and you can always just hit the back button that's at the top. And we're just going to go and stay with this for right now. So I'm going to go ahead and save it. And the reason you want to go ahead and save it too is because, like, if you want to go ahead and let's say you're not going to be able to finish this in time, because you don't want to rush your creativity. You want to come up with something that you can actually like utilize, and something that, you know, you'll want to come back to. So got documents there. I'm going back to Aliveshoes, and now we have our Blue Finesse. So we go right to the folder, and then I put that, you can see that the folder is going to be there, but I always do this also because of those pixels and everything. They become very important for how you're going to be doing things. So we know this is a pixel of 800 by 445. So when you come back, you don't have just a bunch of pictures in there that you might not have them in the size that you actually need. You know that this is the picture you have inside. This is the picture that, you know, goes with your Blue Finesse, and we go ahead and hit save now. Now what this does, it allows us to go back into our adding our logo part. So I'm choosing to upload a logo. And all I do is I go back now also to my folder, and I actually have a hard drive, and so this hard drive, it kind of like detaches. It can go with you. So let's say you're going somewhere, you know, you're going to be there for an extended period of time and you want to work on some of your, you know, designs, then you have the ability to do that. So we want this one. We know that that's also the size. It's the 800 by 445 that it needs to be. And go ahead and open it. And then there we have it. It's there. And then you're going to use your little arrows that you can actually size it. So that's what I have there for the logo. So for the logo of the shoe. So that means anybody seeing it, that, you know, you'll be able to see it. And to me, I think when I look at people's shoes and I look at their feet, that's the first thing I'm looking at. I'm looking at their shoes. I'm looking at, you know, what's unique about them and everything. And I can guarantee you every shoe is not going to catch my attention, but the person that's wearing that different shoe or whatever, I consider them to be very eclectic and right in the realm of what, and I'm like, oh, wow, those are some really nice shoes. And so that shoe that I showed you guys in the beginning, the Biker Elegant boot, I made that based on my significant other because we met in an elevator, and the first thing I was looking down, so the first thing I noticed was the shoes. And then when I looked at his shoes, I was like, oh wow, those are some new shoes. And but he was well dressed as well, and so it gave me a prototype for the type of way he likes to look and how he likes to dress, both of us, because we like to look nice. I was able to do that shoe, which was really great, because and now I'm showcased on a live shoe. So all right, so we're gonna say okay, and then it's gonna go ahead and start designing it. All right, and as you can see, that logo is in there now. So that means that when somebody's wearing this shoe, this logo is very prominent. And so you probably really want to try to put something, a lot of creativity into it, because someone that, you know, is looking at that, if they want to showcase that, then, you know, they might buy it just based on, you know, that particular item that it has on there. Because sometimes I do that, a shoe or, you know, clothing that I want, it just looks like something else that, you know, I want to join, I would like to be a part of. Hi Lisa, hi there, N8. My person didn't accept the invite. Hello there, Batman, how are you doing? Hi Ad, I'm probably saying that wrong, I'm sorry if I am. Guys, please don't forget to double tap the screen, and then you can leave gifts, you can leave stars, and share if you would like to, and then our comments. And so now we're done with the logo part. Now you get to actually do your tongue of the shoe as well. So I go ahead and write down the dimensions again, because there's no need to be wasting your time putting a dimension that is not supposed to be in there, because they'll let you do it, but your shoe, the quality of your shoe and what your shoe is going to look like might suffer. So I just try to stay within the confines of what they recommend that you do as far as the image is concerned. So that's what I am going to do. And so now this allows you another creative spot to be able to have something else put in here that you want to actually utilize. So what I am going to do is I'm going to go ahead and upload an image. And I don't want that one this time. So I'm going to go back into my Gmail, because I want to be able to do something different. And head back into our little folder there. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and copy this one. And sometimes it is very, very nice to have your designs already like down there. And then we're going to go ahead and do that open with, we're using paint because we want to make sure that those pixels are correct to be able to use in our design. And what they recommended was the 705/600. So we're going to go over to like resize it. Make sure you click on pixels. I forget a lot of times. You think by now I would remember that. And so that's 705. And then this right here, we don't need that because we don't need it to do anything to change our numbers for 600. And then we say okay. All right, and so now we see our dimensions down there, 705 by 600. So now I can go ahead and save this as, and go back into our folder. And since you used the folder before, it's there. Okay. All right, we're gonna just call it that. And we're gonna go ahead and get out of there and minimize this. Go back into our Aliveshoes. And so we're saying, yes, we want to personalize the tongue. So we're gonna go there, click our picture that we need to be in there. And then voila, it's filling like the whole box. You don't have to have it fill the whole box. There's so many different things that you could do with this, because if you're like when you're in paint, you can do different designs and put different things in there as well. Make sure you guys are double tapping the screen. We love hearts and heart me, joining our fan club and everything. We're going to continue on with our shoe here. Hi there, Rodriguez. Hi, Digestis. Hi Ronald, how are you doing? Hi Jennifer, hi Marvin. Thank you guys for joining. Don't forget to double tap your screen, leave a comment, make sure you share. Those are the things that help creators to know that, you know, what we're doing is something that, you know, is helpful, that you're enjoying. We'll never know if you never say anything. And hi Randy, hello there. Why hi Heidi, I'm not sure, I might be pronouncing it wrong. Hey Nathan Sherlock, I like that. Blue Ridge, hi Juan, hi Frickley, hi Montreal. How are you guys doing? Thank you guys for joining me. And so now we're going to click OK. We got the logo of the shoe completed. All right, and so now we're going to go down into this. Now this is the one where it says, do you want to actually personalize your box? And I always hit yes. Go ahead and write down the dimensions for what the pixels have to actually be. And so we can make sure our image is in that size and that the image still looks like what we would actually like it to look like. All right, so here, remember when we did the logo? So here you see the logo in the bottom of your box. So that's on your box. So that means that, you know, whatever you're creating here, that people will be able to, you know, take a look at that. And then I wasn't really sold. So for the box, I'm not really sold on that ideal that I had before for the picture. I'm just thinking I really want something more, because I really just want to make sure that I am, you know, when I go to the Blues Fest, you know, or whatever that I'm doing, I want to make sure I can showcase and show exactly what we're able to do and our capabilities. So I am going to actually go into my images again, because I'm not really, I wasn't sold on that particular image yet. All right, so we can go into our Blues Fest one. Let's see what I have out here also. Let's see what this looks like. It's kind of like them, they're out, you know, it looks like a fest or whatever. He's got his little piano and things out there. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open with Paint. And remember guys, this is not set in stone or anything like that. We haven't sent this off or anything, so we're still just playing around with it, because right now I can tell you right now I'm not ready for it to go into production, because I'm not yet sold on everything so far that I've done. So it hasn't grown to me like that my aha moment. All right, so let's go ahead and let's see, this is 14 by 10. Get rid of that, because this number doesn't need to be the same. It needs to be 1200. And then you get to see it and see if that's something that you want it to actually be. So for me, I kind of like the concept a little bit, but I'm not sold on this picture. So, but I am sold on the concept of having it be something where we're going to actually be out and let's go ahead and save it. And I'm going to go ahead, for in the interest of time, we're going to go ahead and use it because I know I'm going to be running close to time. So I'm going to go ahead and upload the image. And so the one that we wanted, cancel it. Thank God it's still open. Not that one. Because what I forgot to do is I forgot to put it actually where I want it to be at. So when you don't put it where you want it to be at, it can just be anywhere. And I've got way too many files to even try to entertain that thought process. So I'm gonna say okay. When you go up here and you save as, this is where you get to put it where you want it to put. Do that every single time. It's now to go there for the painting. And then I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I put my dimensions down because I don't want to have to kind of guess what it is and see if that's the one that I actually picked, because it might not be the one that I actually picked. So here we are. I'm going to save that. Get out of there. Now we're going to go ahead and upload our image. You find our image is right there, and it says, you know, what the dimensions are, matches the dimensions there. Open up. All right, and so that's what we have. We'll say okay. All right, and so now we have the box. So I like the concept and everything. I'm grateful that I got the opportunity to be sitting here with you guys and actually be putting it in there. And so once you are done with that, you can say you want to go ahead and create your shoe. So let's go ahead and just see the final product. I'm not set in stone with it either though. So I'm going to take the opportunity before we do that. Let me go ahead and speak to some of you guys, see what you guys are doing. What have you been up to? All right, guys. So remember to double click the screen if you like what we're doing, because we definitely, that's a great way for us to find out if we do or not. So we like that opportunity. And every time you go on a Zoom thing or whatever, yeah, it's a real bad habit of you don't see all your little imperfections until you're in the camera for whatever reason. But anyway, needless to say, so we're at Blues Fest Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We're doing our live shoes. First time we were doing a shoe design. And want you guys to be joining our fan club and sending the hearts. Hi there, Freckly. Hi, Aloy. Hi, Elizabeth. Hi, Sky. Hi. Some of you guys have been on here with me from the beginning. Thank you guys so much for that support. Hi, user 6960. I'm going to go ahead and share for myself also. All right, so I'm back with you guys. Hey, my Les. Hi, Wes. Hi, Lewis. Hi, Francisco. Hello, Juana. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Maria. Martin. Thank you, guys. So make sure, you guys, that you are double tapping the screen to like the live. Make sure that you leave a comment. Then go down and you can actually share. If you feel like you want to join, please join. Also, our fan club, the heart means, we love those too. So continue to get those. And hi there, Rhino. Hi, Kuda. And so I'm going to be back at like 4 when I take my dinner break a little bit later on today, so that I can, I just call it morning inspiration, because that's just what it is for me. And then, just being able to talk with you guys, and then just to unwind. and say hi, and then announcements, especially since we do have the Blues Fest coming up this weekend. Hi Jeff, hi Angelica. Angelica, how are you doing? Let's see. I'm going to send out an invitation. I got a flash goal. All right, guys, help me reach this goal. It's the roses, whatever pin. I'm pinning it there. So, and it's 20 of them. 20. So I see 55 new messages. So I'm thinking that it might be 55 hearts or something in there shortly. Hey Walter. Hey Lawrence. Hi Ava. Hi Aisha. Hi Bubble Toes, I think. Hi Mary. How are you doing? Hi Kenya. Hi Sandra. Hi Anime. Hi, let's see, Kasia. Hi Ashley. Hi Capricorn. Oh, there's Capricorn. Okay, and then there, Capricorn. That's my baby. Hi, sweetie. How are you doing? Let's see. I would invite her, but it doesn't have an invite by her name. So anyway, we can't invite my baby, but she's on here. Thank you, sweetie, for showing up. Miss Kenya. Hello. How are you? Marcelino, I'm probably butchering that. I'm so sorry. Hi there, Marcia. Hi, Crystal. Make sure you guys share the live by double tapping your screen. Make sure you leave a comment. We love comments. Make sure you also share. Any gifts or anything as well are always appreciated. Alrighty. And all right, so we are going to go back to our shoe designing here because we're pretty much at the end. All right, so now we've got our box and everything that's there. And we'll do that better next time. All right, so now it says almost done. Create your shoe. So let's go ahead and go to create and see what we got here. See what it looks like with the whole package. And so, like I said, these shoes are made in Italy. It's genuine suede, genuine leather. So it's a little bit more pricier, and we're still doing the free shipping and everything. So I am so grateful for that. So needless to say, that means that, you know, our stuff that we have in our TikTok shop, we don't have to worry about or anything like that. And so he's creating, so he's like at 71%. This part, I just usually wait for it, because if you click away from it, sometimes, you know, you can disrupt what's actually happening to actually get it completed. So I don't want to do that. All right, now it says here, it says, great job, Desiree. Your design is ready and saved in your dashboard. So it's saved in our dashboard. So that's great. Now let's see what our product, what it looks like. So this is what our final product looks like. And as you can see, it'll put the, you know, the price up there as well. And, you know, there's our little logo thing that we created that's right there. The actual box you can see there. And then it'll have your different views. So typically what I do is I'm going to go ahead and I would save those as and put them in Blue Finesse. And so we're going to do that right now. Well, no, we're not going to do that one. Always click on this one. I always click on the biggest one first, because then you'll get the better size. And then we're going to save the image as, and we're going to go back to our folders. And this is why you want to have folders for things and know where your stuff is when you're sitting here designing, because I'm going to tell you what, you might have a really, really great design, but for whatever reason you didn't put the image somewhere, and then you no longer have that design concept. It's disappointing, because I've done it. So I know that you don't really want to do it. So that's why I started using my folders. And, you know, anytime you're going to add something to the platform, then you can also, or to other platforms like TikTok or whatever, these are the images that you would be submitting for your for your store. So we're going to hit save. Then we're going to the next image. And it shows it, you know, like on top of the box. So we're going to say save image as, save. And then it'll give you like a one shot view of it up close. So I'm going to go ahead and say save as again. And then it gives you both of them together, what they look like together. So a little bit different. So I you know, I don't know, maybe I think there's only a couple things that I am going to tweak possibly. And I'll tell you guys what those are. I think I'm going to tweak this area here. And then I think I'm going to tweak the box again. So, because I really, those are the times where you really can let your creativity show. So I'm not really sold on the ones that I have right there right now for images, but I did get a chance to create it for the first time on TikTok Live with you guys. So I might actually just keep it because it'll be like a souvenir, a reminder of, hey, this is the first shoe that I created with my TikTokers. And then I can always come back and make a shoe that's similar and change the boxes and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and save as. And like I said, these are your images. TikTok usually recommends, I think it's like you need to have like 5 or 6 good images if you really want it to be seen. And then, of course, you have to have a good product description where you got a lot of that product description in the first beginning when they showed you exactly what this model, was and what it actually has with it. So I'm going to go ahead and save that. Save. And so we've got definitely way enough. And then it shows cases the box, by itself too. So this is just what I'm thinking, but I might just keep it because I got a chance to do it with you guys. And so we'll be doing more of these. So by no means think that this is like the last time we'll do it. I'll get better and better at the delivery of it. And see, let's see, last steps, finalize it. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finalize it and see the options of how we want to actually put it to have it for sale. Great job. Finalize and choose our next step. Continue. All right. And so the prototype, when you once you get it, and as you can see here, it says free shipping to the EU, UK, Canada, and United States of America. So we're still doing free shipping. Alrighty, and these shoes are made when they are ordered, so it takes them at least the 10 days to be able to go ahead and design the shoe and to get it out for. I usually order my little prototype, and then I can keep it in our small little warehouse that we have here. Hopefully that'll be bigger. Protect your design just means you'll pay for like your certificates, and I usually will do all of that stuff. Launch your campaign. So we want to launch the campaign, so it'll be in the store, but it's got to be approved. So what we're doing is we're going ahead and we're going to submit our shoe, Blue Finesse, and it either you can have it on there for 3 days or whatever days, and submit now. And so the submit now means that it's actually going to Aliveshoes. So it's going to Aliveshoes for them to actually give us the okay if this design is going to be working for us now. So thank you guys for liking the live. Please make sure that you double tap the screen to like the live. Hi there. Hi Ailey, how are you doing? Make sure that you guys are leaving the gifts. The gifts are wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Also, just we're going to do more of this, guys. So don't think that, oh, wow, she did that one way back when. No, we're going to be doing this frequently. We're doing the community fest. We're still participating in that. We're always on, we're always trying to make sure that we are participating on TikTok and everything like that. I love that platform. So, all right. So thanks for submitting your design. Our design team will review, approve, or reject your Blue Finesse within 6 to 12 hours. And will also give you feedback before launching it online. You'll receive an email. You can also check the status of your submission in your dashboard, shoes, and on sale section. Then I'm going to go back to my dashboard. So guys, when you're thinking about product description and everything like that, this is what I'm going to tell you. In the beginning, where we got the prototype for the shoe, it gave us that information there. So that information is, information that you can share in your product description when you get ready to put it on whatever platform you're going to put it on. But when they tell you that they're going to give you feedback, you want to look at your feedback, because in the feedback, it's going to tell you what they liked about the shoe, why they approved it, and it'll also, talk about the materials that you use. And so basically what we use leather and suede in that particular design. I wanted to get the eco-friendly in there. Wasn't a lot of different options, but we can always go back because nothing is ever written in stone. This shoe can be, I can go ahead and get it onto the website now after approval, of course, and then, but you still have the ability always to go back and edit your designs. They encourage you to build your brand, which I thought was very, very wonderful. So I was grateful to bring Rich and Rich Home Opportunities to Aliveshoes, and to be able to get a trademark. And I solely think that that's because of Aliveshoes. It's because of the quality of work. It's because of the design appeal that it has for people. So that's why I really think that that trademark really went through the most for it, because this is just a wonderful platform. All right, now we're gonna go back to your dashboard is what it's telling me. So I'm gonna take you guys back to my dashboard. So that's the shoe. So we did the blue finesse. Double tap the screen, guys. Make sure that you are sharing. Make sure that you, we would love for you to be a part of our fan club, because this is the kind of stuff that we're going to be doing, guys. We're going to be inviting people to be guests. We also want to be able to showcase what we actually do as a designer and the things that we're doing, so that, you can come back and we can revisit it. So we can do a lot of little things with our little time frame and everything. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is the Blues Fest. It's going from 12 o'clock until 10 p.m. on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. That's located in the Brown Deer, Wisconsin area. So if you're in the area and you want to stop by and hear some wonderful music, then you can. I take my TikTokers on there. For those of you who've been with me, last year we went, so we'll be going again this year. So it's really nice. Sometimes I like to get like the interviews and everything with people coming by, showcase some of the other vendors that are out there, and of course showcase our product. So here we are. So this is my dashboard. So this is what your dashboard basically looks at. As you can see, let me see if I can pull it a little bit closer without messing up my computer or dropping it. Sometimes that kind of stuff happens. All right, so we have 0 tariffs so far, knock on wood. This is our Rich and Rich site. Here's our dashboard. Now this is as you can see, I have a total of 69 shoes in there currently that I have created. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for tapping on the screen and for liking. Thank you so much for the comments and the gifts and diamonds and anything else that can help us with our endeavors to be effective creators on TikTok. And so this is just your back office. This is where your designs live at. And so that's there. I've got 69 total. And then I was telling you guys, it started off with just like the shoes in the beginning. However, more so than just having the shoes, now we also have the ability to do the accessories. So let me show you guys the accessories. All right. And so these are the accessories that we're also able to do on the platform now, which is so wonderful. So we can do the handbags. I've got a couple of handbags here. This bag, when I did my designing of my accessories, I kind of thought about my designs being in like a group. So what that means basically is that I actually made that design for this particular bag for our shoe that's here. Let me show you guys that again. Okay, so this is the actual shoe, and so we used our same design concept. Put this back. And I was telling you guys about the box and how much that makes a difference, because this is the box for that shoe. Okay, and this is the logo that we used on the side. And so if you think about it, what that allowed us to do then is to be able to actually, and show my YouTubers too. All right, so that's the box. I got the box upside down. But you get the, and then that's the bag that we created for it as well. So let's get back to finishing up. Show you guys a couple of other things. All right, so that's the bag. So when I did the accessories, I'm always thinking about, designing the accessories closely to match whatever shoe is that I design. Make sure you guys are double liking the screen. Make sure you leave your comments, any Gifts are always, always, always welcome. And so they've got the hats, the belt. I wanted to show you one thing because this one is in the TikTok shop now, so you can see that bag. And the site, it loads a little bit slower, so just be patient with it. You see, as we got little jackets that we can do now too. More of the bags, more of the bags, more of the bags. And so I always try to keep them kind of similar to like the shoe that I'm designing, so that you can design the shoe, go ahead and design your accessories so they kind of like go together. Hey there, Jessica, thank you guys for joining. Hi, Lucy. Thank you, Lucy. Thank you, Lucy, so much for being a part of my fan club, and thank you for always showing up, and I appreciate your support so very, very much. Guys, make sure if you guys get a chance, take a look at Lucy's page too, because she does some wonderful stuff as well. And so we have our backpack, we have our bookcase. Let's see, let's go to 4. I just want you guys to see that particular bag that's actually located in our TikTok shop right now. And eventually all of these will be on there, but this is the one that I have that's on TikTok right now. That's in our shop. And my TikTok shop website logo is in the bio. And so this is kind of like what we had. So you guys, I like my Lou Lovey because, of course, I got my comic book Lou Lovey, and so I love using that design because I want to promote as much as I can. So, and then here it tells you exactly what the bag, is. Go down further, it tells you the free shipping and, returns and all of that. Handcrafted, gives you all of that wonderful stuff. And then here it tells you exactly, what your product has. So go in there with your product description. So it has all of that there. So we do have that in our TikTok shop as well. So that was one of our very first ones. I thought it was just really, really just amazing. Just an amazing platform. So all right, so we're gonna go back. Let's see, we can just get out of there. Okay, good. All right, and so here, once again, just showing you guys the dashboard very quickly. And then, so what I want to end with now is I want to go ahead and show you guys the particular shoes that we have already designed with the Aliveshoes platform. Remember that I'm going to be back this morning. Well, it'll be Thursday morning, but I'll be back at 4 a.m. for that's usually when I'm taking my dinner break. My time for morning inspiration is what I'm calling it. We've been doing, it's our ability to reach out to you guys. So without further ado, we are going to actually look at some of the shoe design. Alrighty, and so let me turn you guys around a little bit. Hi guys, make sure you guys can see me. Alright, so this is the one shoe that I was telling you guys about. This is my women's heel. It's one of my TikTok designs. So we use all kind of different little things here, and then for our logo, we wanted to solidify and just make it streamline the logo into the actual design of the shoe. And so that's what we did there. I always have so much, and I'm always so proud to see these shoes and everything like that, because to see something that you've actually created is just an amazing thing. I can't really put it into words, except for it's amazing. Alright, and this is that one box. We used this one box for that actually came within the Aliveshoes platform to create our little sandal shoe there. And we had we were able to do the little logo. So I just did like the just chilling little caricature. You could put anything with it that you wanted to, but that's just kind of like where my creativity was at the time. And I can tell you that there's a big difference from when I first started out to where I am now, and I'm pretty sure that where I'm going, there's going to be even more. So these are in our TikTok shop now, and those sandals are in there. So, and we did this, it's the cork. They're very comfortable. Very, very, very comfortable. So, and we, of course, these will be at our Blues Festival. They will be showcasing those as usual. No, that one's not in there, so I'm going to show that one. Alright, and so this is another one, shoe design that currently this is in our TikTok shop. And so we have our affiliate thing turned on in that shop too. So, you know, if you, and I think we're doing a refundable sample. So, you know, you can get your sample will be free after you've actually sold 3 of these. So I like that, you know, TikTok does something like that. I like the fact that you can buy things from some of the other platforms as well, or other creators, and then be able to earn commissions on what you've actually bought, because that's when we did affiliate marketing way back in the day, that's what it was all about. You try to buy, you want to be able to influence or to get people to purchase based on your likes, your desires, things your friends had bought and found you know, that worked out for them. And so it's easier to do it that way. And our little logo is simple, it's pink. And then the marble heel, I think that's the thing that just drew me in, because there's always something, just a little bit something different about the shoe. And so these are, you know, so I gravitate toward, you know, those different buckles, you know, different. I like different. So needless to say, that's one. Okay, and this is our elegant men's biker boot. This is in our TikTok shop also. And for these are the ones that we submitted in for a contest that they had for Aliveshoes, and so we did showcase for that. So I think I'm gonna get that document up and like put it on TikTok so you guys can like actually see it. And so just went with the Rich and Biz. So this is a shoe that I designed in honor of my significant other, the way he dressed and everything like that. He hardly wears tennis shoes. He's more like a dress shoe person. He's very, very particular about it. And so he was very, very grateful for this particular shoe. How many people can say that they have someone in their life that can actually design a shoe for them? So I'm grateful for that. And so these are in our TikTok shop. Alrighty, so got a couple more minutes. And shoot that. And then when your shoes are delivered with your box and everything, you know, I just love how they just do things. You know, you got your little nice little cloth bag. It comes, you know, that's how the shoe is delivered. You can always tell because I can smell them now. That leather. Love that leather smell. So anyway, that's one of the first things I noticed about when I got my prototypes after I designed, and you get your prototype and all that wonderful stuff, is the smell of the leather. It's just an amazing smell. Unless you don't like the smell of leather and it's kind of different. Alrighty. So we've got other designs as we put them you know, in the TikTok shop. Then we will, you know, continue to do like what we did today with designing the shoe and everything like that. I thank you guys so much for coming out and enjoying and being with us today while we did that design for the Aliveshoes. So let me go ahead and just say hi to some of you guys, because I love to say hi. I always like the fact that you guys are here. You can always send, you know, double tap the screen to like it. Also share, comment. Even after this is over with, you know, our handle is Rich and Rich Biz. So you can still continue to tell your friends. We won't be mad at you whatsoever. for spreading the word. So anyway, hello there, Rich. How are you? Hi, Jenry. How are you doing? So send out a couple invites, but you know, you can't. People don't always have time. You know, this is a work day, so I definitely do get that. Hey, Corinne. Hi, Rich Squad. Hi, Samira. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Hi, Daisy. And let's see. Hi, Aries. Lucy, I see you. How are you, Isla? I see you too. I hope I said that right. Aila. I might not have said it correctly. Hello there. Aw, thank you. I love you so much. Thank you so much for the gifts. I appreciate it, guys, so much. It just makes us know that what we're doing, at least, you know, we're doing something right. So that helps, that getting that confirmation back. Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Miss MS. Hi, Kenya. Hi, Baron. Hi, Vicky. Let's see. Hi, Ladybug. Hi, user 215. Hi, Kathy. Hey, Sammy. Hey, Prophecyr. Hi, Luck. LUC. I think I'm saying that right. Luck. Hi, Denaire. Hey, Jefferson, Estella, Amacar. Hi, Crystal. Hey, Marshall. Hey, Miss Kenya. That's awesome. Hi there. Thank you so much for. Oh, thank you, sweetie. That's my daughter in there. Thank you, sweetie. Um, Also, thank you for sharing, guys. I really, really appreciate that. The sharing is wonderful. That's how we know that we're actually, you know, doing something that, you know, people want us to actually do. Hey, Magala. Hey, Ashley. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Zaylee. Hi, Monique. Hi, Marie. Hi, Lux. Hi, Marco. Hi, Bubble Toes. Hi, Aisha. Hi, Emin Kicks. Hi, Lawrence. Hey, Walter. Hey, Nikki. Hi, Mudhole. Hi, Only One. Hi, Angelica. Hi, Mr. North. Francisco. VQS. Maria. Lissa Kroger. Kuda. Rina. Demetrius. Miriam. Alicia. Hi, Juana. Francisco. Lewis. All right, guys. So with that, without further ado, thank you guys so much. I'll be back at 5 o'clock in the morning for my morning inspiration for my dinner break. We are at the Blues Festival on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we'll see what tomorrow brings. If because we might just do you know, something tomorrow too, because we want to continue to be participating and getting a look at you guys and our. That said, guys, I'm gonna say good night and see you guys soon. You guys and our. That said, guys, I'm gonna say good night and see you guys soon.